Hey everyone, this video is going to break down all 16 teams heading to Champions Paris and figure out who the best player is on each roster. We're going to try to look at factors outside of just stats, so please enjoy. Fnatic is one of the hardest teams to break down, due to them being the owner of a three-headed monster consisting of Chronicle, Alpha and Kayak. Not to say Boaster or Crashies are slouches, far from it. But this trio is the scariest part of Fnatic's roster. Chronicle, our most decorated player with 3 trophies, Alpha the Wonder Kid, and possible Rookie of the Year, Kayak. It's nearly a 3-way tie. But if I had to choose, I'm giving the edge to Chronicle. Despite often playing more passive roles like Viper and Vise, he still finds himself consistently near the top of the scoreboard. On top of that, Chronicle just feels more disciplined than Alpha or Kayak, always looking to secure the round. He brings a veteran mentality, whether it's through his clutch plays or the speeches he gives to keep the team locked in. It's clear to see why he's the most decorated player. This may be controversial due to the monster performance Alpha brought to Toronto, but my winner is Chronicle.
A triple kill on the round from KC's new player! But from left field, Chronicle gives you a reminder of exactly who he is.
Breaking down Mibr, this might be the easiest of the teams to choose best player, and that player is Aspaz. This pick is undisputed. His name alone carries so much weight, and time again, he's proven why. Although his performance recently has been a bit shaky, and some would say Verno deserves this spot after his Toronto's performance. Aspaz has brought 3 different teams and 4 different rosters to champs. Some even call him one of the faces of Valorant, and whether you agree with that or not, one thing's for sure. He's the clear star of Mibr.
Oh, the teamwork. They're just setting up walls of pistols here to retake, but Aspas and Shenum fire back. Oh my God. Aspas, he double 4K for Aspas. Wakes up with the Red Bull clutch.
What's up, guys? Who's the best team in Korea now? Come on!
Hold on, Buzz. Before we jump the gun, let's actually analyze who the best player is on T1. The roster is pretty stacked. Buzz, Izu, Stax, Meteor, and Syl. DH. This is a core that just recently won Masters Bangkok, and stats-wise they are pretty balanced. Everyone contributes, and while Stax occasionally shows the classic IGL nerf, there's no glaring weak link here. But for my best player award, I've got to give it to Meteor. He consistently makes impact plays while on more passive roles, playing Sentinels or Smokes, and still finds a way to frag out. What makes it even more impressive is his mindset. If there's one positive note from the T1 documentary, it's how much passion Meteor has for the game and his constant drive to improve. That kind of hunger paired with his performance makes him deserving of being T1's best player.
Meteor able to avoid them, pushes out, finds the first, would have to be an ace clutch. Taps it again. Finds
Take it, brother. 5 seconds.
Try to beat the board, Balin. Swinging around the flank.
You got all!
EDG are kind of in a similar slump to T1. After winning Champs 2024, the teams had their fair share of internal issues with Simon, and even made a roster change. Whether it's the roster shakeup, more behind-the-scenes problems, or just a hit to their mentality, EDG haven't looked like the gods of the Chinese region they once were. That said, their newest addition, Jenny 7, has been putting up great numbers, and the team looks like they're starting to bounce back. But if there's one thing that stayed consistent through it all, it's Kong Kong. He continues to be the star of this roster, still dominating the server, and looking like the guy who can bring EDG another Champions trophy.
They've got to try and make that
round
run,
over,
and in fact,
round
they're
over.
gonna go back
Don't even
towards the B
stop,
side,
stop.
right into
Round
the
is
hands
over.
of Kong, who's just waiting for them.
You're just letting this guy just have highlight reels.
Sentinels are another difficult team to choose a best player from. There's a general pattern in Valorant where the more cohesive a team looks, the less obvious their star becomes. That's because you see fewer solo hero plays and more teamwork, which naturally spreads out the stats. I think Sentinels fit that mold pretty well. They do set up Zekken a lot of the time, but honestly, everyone on this roster gets their moments to shine, even Zelsis. That said, I want to give some flowers to John Cute, one of the smartest IGLs in the game. His calling and mid-round adjustments are a huge reason for Sen's success. Narrate has also been incredible. It feels like he's even surpassed his Carmine Corp form, but if I had to single out one player, it's still Zekken. The kid just takes over games sometimes. He's got the most firepower on this team, and a lot of the time Sentinels' losses come when they can't get him activated. When Zekken's firing, Sentinels are always a favorite for any tournament.
Dropping it on him, narrate is close by.
Oh.
He's dead.
Oh my god.
More to be found for Zekken. He's gonna have to
Oh my god.
make that play. Not able to settle the shots. He finds some time on the swing.
Oh my god. Zekken is the GOAT.
I have to be honest here. Outside of EDG, I don't know a ton about VCT in the Chinese region. So when it comes to Bilibili, XLG, and DRG, I'm mostly looking at the stats. Looking at Bilibili, they came through with a bye, did well in the uppers until DRG beat EDG in the lower final, and then got revenge against DRG in the grand finals. Just from these performances, YZ stands out as the clear best player. This guy put up insane numbers across these matches, and based on that alone, he deserves the crown.
0点秀太立功了，发现了球球的技能全部失效之后，果断定点补枪，这也是标记唯一能获胜的方式，而且这是他们非常需要去翻的这一个回合。
是赛点的局数啊。
At the start of Team Heretics' rise to fame, the only names people were talking about were Woot, Miniboo, and Benji. Sure, that's partly because of their big personalities, but also because they were putting up the numbers to back it. However, it's always the quiet ones you have to watch out for. Ryans is my choice for Team Heretics' best player. He's been one of their top performers, consistent across the board, and he's doing it all from the initiator role. He was a huge reason they won EWC, setting up his teammates with impact utility while still fragging out when it mattered most. In a roster full of loud stars, Ryans is the backbone. And that's why he's my pick for Heretics' best player.
And have to fight into it. Give
whoa, 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 whoa!
だがこれにより三者それぞれが 120% のポテンシャルを引き出すに至る。
If Fnatic's three-headed monster was hard to analyze, then what am I supposed to do with PRX's five-headed abomination? We've got 2024 Stage 1 Finals MVP Jing, Rookie of the Year contender Patman, Masters Toronto MVP Forsaken, FNS's #1 idol Devai, and 2025 Stage 2 MVP something. This team is so stacked. Honestly, any one of the five could be the best player at any given time. But before this turns into a full-on PRX Glaze video, my pick for their best player is Something. Something has always been one of PRX's top performers, but during the transition from the Jet meta to the Teo meta, the team struggled with comp flexibility. That led to a lot of experimentation and losses. Yet, Something has fully evolved into arguably the world's best Yoru, and is a key reason PRX won both Masters Toronto and Pacific Stage 2. I won't go into all the details on why he's the top Yoru since TMV already made that video, but trust me, his impact is undeniable. So for now, PRX's best player is Something, a consensus pick backed by his Pacific Stage 2 MVP award.
What the? Oh my god! Concealed with.
Again, I don't know much about VCT China, so looking at XLG, they made Masters Toronto as the first seed, but unfortunately bombed out due to a sudden roster change with YU. They had a good start in Stage 2, but bombed out of playoffs, only to qualify for champs through points. So, just looking through their recent wins, I'd have to give the best player award to Happyway. He's putting up impressive numbers on Viper and Senti role, and I'm excited to see and learn more from the Chinese teams.
We've seen this guy do some mad stuff, but oh my god.
枪就要掉，1打1的局面，但是随着开枪位置已经暴露了，主动趁着烟。
Guy, he's insane.
DRX has always been a consistent roster, qualifying to every champion so far. But this year, the only core member left from the original lineup is Mako. On paper, that might seem like an automatic best player award, and to be fair, he's earned it. Mako has long been in the conversation as one of the best smokes players in the world. That said, 2025 hasn't been his cleanest year. DRX as a whole has looked shaky, and some even argue they were undeserving of the champs qualification. Add in the fact that DRX rarely makes deep international runs, and you start to see the problem. Their disciplined, structured play often comes with no risk at all. It's clean, but it can look stale when the game demands unpredictability. That's why Hyunmin deserves a shout. He brings raw firepower and isn't afraid to push the limits, adding the kind of edge that could finally send DRX deeper into a tournament. His willingness to take chances is exactly what this team has been missing, but sorry for the bait. At the end of the day, my crown still goes to Mako. His legacy, leadership, and consistency can't be ignored. He's the anchor that's held DRX together through every roster shift, and that makes him their best player.
Some damage dealt, but with 15 seconds remaining, just nothing realistically more to be done. But now, completely unaware of the angle of approach, but the decay now has brought the parity between these two, and Mako stands tall.
Energy is another team that's incredibly tough to single out a best player for. Over EWC and Stage 2, every single one of them had a series where they carried. Brock versus Sentinels, Scuba versus Crew, Mata versus Leviathan, Ethan versus RRQ, and Sam versus 100 Thieves. Outside of these games, their numbers are so balanced it's hard to point to just one star. But with margins this tight, I leaned into a bit of recency bias and went with the guy who carried them over the finish line in Stage 2 playoffs, the Brocktagon. Brock put up monster numbers against Sen, C9, and Lev to punch Energy's ticket to champions, all while mostly playing the scan initiator role. Mata's in the conversation, no doubt, but those slow starts just barely put him behind Brock in my book. So for me, NRG's best player is Brock.
This one though, the shot does lay it down, and it's a lot of damage, and hello! This is your time to strike them where it hurts!
Of everyone on Golden State, open shot, fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth, you better hit it. I want...
Picking the best player for Team Liquid, there's really only two in the conversation, Nats and Kiko. Kiko has been nothing short of phenomenal this year, a breakout talent who's already put himself in the top 5 for rating in EMEA Stage 2. He's flashy, he's consistent, and he's quickly becoming one of the most feared duelists and controllers in the region. If we were talking purely stats, Kiko might edge this out, but for me the title still goes to Nats. He's not just the IGL, he's the backbone of this roster. Through all of Team Liquid's roster changes, he's been the calm voice. He's a leader who always considers team morale and uplifts his teammates. He's always cool under pressure and one of the smartest lurkers the game has ever seen. Add to that the fact that he's the only one on TL who's actually lifted a trophy, and it's clear. Nats is the best player on Team Liquid.
This, a huge ult remove, but Nats is the one to find it. No shield for Levin. He's stuck inside his pit, but firing back takes down Sociable. Even lands Magnum.
What's on the other side, and Nats is waiting to finish the job. He started an ace to take them to overtime.
I didn't watch many of RRQ's games until recently, and at first glance my best player award would have gone to Jemkin or Monyet. Jemkin looks like the next big duelist and his stats are insane, while Monyet is just trailing him as well. But after hearing back from you guys in the previous video, I'm going to give the nod to Crazy Guy. Ever since he joined RRQ, his IGL Ying has transformed the team, from a bottom-of-the-pack roster to a top contender. I also got to give some love to my Vietnamese representation, so for me, Crazy Guy is RRQ's best player.
Able to spam all throughout across.
Nah, he did not just get 2. He did not get 3. Say it ain't so. Is that a crazy guy?
G2 might be the hardest team to single out a best player for. I mean, just look at their roster. Leaf, Valen, Jogamo, Trent, and Jonah P. Every one of these players has had runs where they look like the best in the world, so picking just one feels almost impossible. But if we consider G2's history, from their guard days making it to Masters Reykjavik, missing out on franchising, bouncing back to win Ascension, and now absolutely dominating the Americas, I'd pick someone from the core that's been here the whole time. Now I know a lot of people would argue Trent is their best, but I'm giving the nod to Valen. Not only does he put up insane numbers while calling the shots as their IGL, but his passion for the game and for his team is next level. He's always looking to improve, and honestly, G2's biggest loss would be losing Valen.
It's Valen, fighting 1, fighting 2, Valen! The captain, the IGL, the Omen God, looking to keep them in it, and he has it!
As funny as the coin flip jokes are, Ara is the best player on GiantsX. GX looked pretty terrible at the beginning of the year, but after a roster shuffle near the end of Stage 1, they suddenly looked incredible. The difference is huge, and a big part of that has to go to Aura. His stats are insane, and he's been an incredible pickup for GX. From the bottom of the barrel to finishing second in Stage 2 playoffs, this guy is a true hero for GiantsX.
Towards the back here, Aura doesn't know where to look, but soon enough he's going to have a flood of players coming his way. That smoke is lethal. Oh, the toes, the knife to the throat. Oh, it's gorgeous from Aura.
Looking at Dragon Ranger Gaming, their best player has to be Vukashu. This guy has incredible stats and is a...
Breaking news! Dragon Ranger Gaming has signed Demon 1 ahead of Champions Paris!
And that concludes our list of best players from every team going to Champions Paris. Please drop a like and sub, and if you agree or disagree with any of my takes, feel free to drop a comment.